Hello everyone, we will do saving function now. As savings are defined as the income which are not spent on consumption. So remember one thing, that income is either consumed or saved. That is why y is equal to c plus s, means income is equal to consumption plus saving. But if we talk about the saving, then the equation is y minus c, means income minus consumption, that is saving. Now just to see that saving function is a functional relationship. How? First we would like to tell the meaning of saving. Income which are not spent on consumption means income which is saved. That is why the equation we have arrived that saving is equal to income minus consumption. And see, saving function is a schedule showing a functional relationship between the total saving and total income. It is a functional relationship which shows the total saving and total income. Means saving is the function of income. S is total saving and Y is the total income. Once we know about this consumption function, we can easily obtain the saving function, because consumption and saving both are the two components of income and both are determined from the income. Consumption function along with the verb equation means saving is equal to income minus consumption. With that equation it gives a saving function, means saving is equal to y माइनस सी. अगर इनकम में से कंजम्पशन निकाल दी तो ऑब्वियसली सेविंग बचेगा. And we have already done the consumption function in the form of equation, that is C bar means autonomous consumption plus B मतलब marginal propensity to consume into Y, income. So when we put the value of C in this equation, we have done this equation, and in this equation if we put the value of C, then we will derive this equation. Saving is equal to y minus C bar plus B by, done. After that when we open this bracket, then we get saving is equal to y minus, because of the sign of minus, C bar minus B y. And when actually we take y as common from this equation, minus C bar plus y minus by, when we take y as common, and it is equation like 1 minus b into income. So consumption function that we finally derive is minus C bar. Autonomous consumption is equal to the negative saving, because at a zero level of income we have consumption. That means that is also a negative saving, and it is showing with the sign of minus, plus, because it is negative, plus 1 minus b into y. This is the whole equation which is representing the saving function. S is equal to minus C bar plus 1 minus B into Y. And this equation is the consumption function. S is saving, we already know, and C bar minus C bar, amount of negative saving at a zero level of income, that is called autonomous consumption in the consumption function, and here it is the negative saving. 1 minus B is the marginal propensity to save, because B is representing MPC, and Y obviously we know it is level of income. C bar, autonomous consumption, but C bar in minus, it indicates that there is a negative saving at zero level of income. We have already said that autonomous consumption C bar is positive, therefore saving will be negative at zero level of output. It is also implied that the amount of negative saving is exactly equal to the amount of autonomous consumption at zero level of income, because we have a condition y is equal to consumption plus saving. 1 minus b is the slope of saving function. That is why it is MPC, marginal propensity to save. B is MPC and MPS is 1 minus b. Now, suppose the consumption function is given as 100 plus 0.8y. We can easily derive the consumption function over here. Saving function is what? Minus c bar plus 1 minus b into y. Now, value of c is given this much, this value. Now we'll have to put the value of c in this equation. Now if we put the value, we got this minus 100 plus 0.2 y. If we solve the equation, done. Here 0.8 y, that is marginal propensity to consume. And we have already studied, if we deduct 1 minus MPC, that would be the value of MPS. So here the same thing we applied and we got 0.2 y, that is the value of MPS, 0.2. And this is the whole saving function that we derive from the equation. See, here level of income is given and level of consumption. This much is income and that is consumption. This is all we have earned already, and this is we have already consumed, and whatever is the rest we are having, that is the level of saving. And with this we can prepare the diagram also. On the y-axis we have taken savings and on x-axis it is income. As I told you in the diagram, when we derive saving function from the consumption function, we have studied that the level of autonomous consumption, the same amount of autonomous consumption, that would be shown as a dis saving, means negative saving here. So this is the point where saving is equal to 0, means whatever we have earned, all we have consumed already, and there is no any saving. This is level 0, and this area is indicating the positive saving. So this is the saving function. Now we will see the types of propensity to save. We are having two types: average propensity to save and marginal propensity to save. Average propensity to save. Average propensity to save means the ratio of total saving to total income. Means if we define it in the formula, then we will have APS is equal to saving divided by income, S by Y. APS is average propensity to save, S is saving, and Y is income. For an example, we will have saving as 20 crore and income as 160 crore. Then APS will be 20 divided by 160. It is 1 by 8. One more thing, that average propensity to save can also be calculated from average propensity to consume. If we have given with APC in the equation, we will find the value of APS. How? When we deduct the value of APC from 1, then we will find APS. Like this, average propensity to save, that would be equal to 1 minus APC. If APC is given as 7 by 8, then we will apply the formula 1 minus 7 by 8, and when we solve it, we will find 1 by 8. This is the value of average propensity to save. Now the second term, marginal propensity to save. Marginal propensity to save is the ratio of change in saving to change in income. And marginal propensity to save is also the slope of saving curve. We can also describe it in the formula like delta S divided by delta Y. Delta S is change in saving, delta Y is change in income, and MPS obviously marginal propensity to save. And we can also understand it with the help of an example. If income increases from 120 crore to 160 crore and saving from 10 crore to 20 crore, then change in saving and change in income we'll have to find. Change in saving would be 20 minus 10, 10, and the change in income would be 160 minus 120, that would be 40. And for the formula of MPS, we will find like change in saving divided by change in income, that is 10 by 40, it is 1 by 4, means 0.25. That is the value of marginal propensity to save. Now, marginal propensity to save can also be calculated from MPC, marginal propensity to consume. When we deduct the value of MPC from 1, we will find the value of MPS. Now, if MPC is given by 3 by 4, then MPS would be 1 minus 3 by 4, and when we solve it, we will find 1 by 4, that is the value of MPS. Features of marginal propensity to save remains between value of MPS, value of MPS, marginal propensity to save, remains between 0 and 1. If entire additional income is consumed, it will be 0, done. And if entire additional income is saved, it will be 1.